Okay, for entry 40, we have it's probably one of the more interesting films I've seen this year. And not interesting in the way that it's like it's no Christopher Nolan film in any shape whatsoever. It's a film with Nicolas Cage, and of course, as everyone knows, Nicolas Cage probably just picks up whatever fucking role he wants and does whatever he wants when he does these roles. Because I think he comes out with 3 or 4 movies a year, and they're not like films that go into theaters anymore. And he used to be a big star back in the '90s. Now it's just these kind of films that are on streaming services that are filmed, really quickly, and they get pushed out because he does so many of them each year. I think the most he's done is 5 in a year. And he's kicking off this year. This film was released back in February. It's called Willy's Wonderland. And it's listed as the genre being a horror action. And I'm going to also throw in there that it's also comedy because it's very much bizarre. It's very, very out there with the story. So basically what it is, it's this amusement, like Chuck E. Cheese kind of restaurant, I guess you can say, is a family-orientated place. And then one of the owners turns out to be this massive serial killer. And then who does he hire to also work there is other serial killers. And what they start doing is they start coming up with plans to like murder families, and they get found out. But then the cops go to get them, and then they did a satanic ritual to embody the mechanical creatures that make up the entertainment for the restaurant. It's so fucking weird. I can't even deny that just because it's that weird, it doesn't mean that it's not fantastic to watch, because you don't go into this expecting it to be the best film in the world. This isn't going to be a Nicolas Cage, Oscar nomination. This isn't Face Off. This isn't Con Air. This is just... I don't even know if they could have done this without him. I'll be honest with you. I don't recognize anybody else in the film except for the sheriff. I do recognize that actress, but she's gotten really old. Even older than what she was from the films that I remember her from. But other than that, I don't really recognize anybody. So Nicolas Cage is obviously the center point. But even weirder is he doesn't have any dialogue. He doesn't say anything. You just watch this train wreck just develop over the course of the 90 minutes that it is. And it's just crazier and crazier. And it's definitely one of these just films that are kind of just straight to stream that you discover that you're just like, okay, I'm okay with watching this a couple of times and understanding that it's just meant to be fun. It's totally fun. I understand that it probably has a lot of bad reviews right now, and it's totally worth all of those reviews as well. It is not the best acted by anybody else. Like, the animatronic animations or whatever, they're done better than how a lot of the acting is portrayed. It's very cliche in a lot of its movie tropes. It takes a lot of weird turns in its storytelling. Like certain things that there are certain things that don't get explained until much later on, and then there are certain things that just don't get explained at all. He has this drink that he obsesses over. He's constantly taking breaks. He's constantly cleaning. And he doesn't say anything. He doesn't say a word throughout the whole film. The most he goes is when he's drinking the drink, he'll go, that's it. That's the extent of the Nicolas Cage dialogue. And I think it would have been a little bit better if you got some kind of background on him. Like maybe he has some kind of attachment, like his parents were killed or something, or his brother was killed or something in this place. But it's so weird how there is no explanation to him or what he does. Maybe if what they're doing is they're setting up this character and they're gonna bring him into another film, whoever this production company is, or whoever the director is, or the writer even, who wrote the script. Maybe he just wrote other scripts for this character. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like how Riddick started in a horror film, where it started with Pitch Black, and then it moved on to the Chronicles of Riddick. Then he got an animated film, then a video game, and then just plain Riddick. And you forget that it kind of, that wasn't even meant to go that deep into the character. It started with this random horror film. So maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're kind of reinventing a character within this film. And again, if you're gonna watch it, I really do suggest watching it. If you're a person who really loves sitting through B movies, especially horror B movies are the best B movies in the world. I don't care what anybody says, because there's something about a horror B movie, and I'm talking about films that are on the same level as like Puppet Master, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. This is up there with those films, and it definitely has that same quality, especially when it comes to the animatronics and a lot of the liberties that they take with a lot of the special effects. It's right there, and I think that's why I love it so much, because it brings me back to how much of a joy I get from watching those films. And if you're a person who was a fan of those films, you're going to find enjoyment in this. Of course, if you go in there and you think, if you've never seen any Puppet Master in the world, you're probably not going to like this. If you've never seen Doll Man, you're probably not going to like this. If you've never seen Demonic Toys, you're probably not going to like this. It's not for the person who isn't a fan of the really bad the really bad horror movie, the really out there B movie. It's not for you. I would definitely not suggest it if you're not into having a sit through with a fun film that's in the realm of a lot of those films I just mentioned, because that's what it falls into. It falls into that category. And it's got Nicolas Cage in it for some reason. It's so dumb, but it's totally worth it. I would say watch it.